help. I overtalk people in the sales process. What do? I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. It is November 5th, 2017, 9:20 in the morning here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Perfect day to talk about sales. And a perfect day to talk about one of the largest forms of sales sabotage that you can see in the world of sales. And what it comes down to is there's a lot of salespeople who are impatient. So this would be my first question. If you say, Scott, I overtalk people, what do I do? My first question is, why are you being so impatient with the buyer? What is it about your product or your service or the thing that you got to say that is taking precedent over what's going on? Because sales is about asking questions at one of the purest levels. And you can't ask questions and then listen to the answer if you're ready to overtalk the person. I see salespeople get into this when, especially if they're looking at somebody else, right? They're looking at somebody else's goals, or they're looking at somebody else closing deals, and they're not closing deals. It's a speed process. There's for whatever reason, it could be that you're like, I want to get through this call as fast as possible so that I can get to the next one. But by you putting that rush on the buyer and putting that precedent of saying, I got to talk and say something more important than you do, then what you're going to find is that person's going to get frustrated. They're going to shut down, and then they're going to give you some wacky objection like, I got to think about it. I'm getting other bids. I'm still talking to other people. Or, they may tell you flat out, I don't like you, and they leave. Okay. So there's a couple things that you could do. And I did struggle with this when I first got into sales because I wanted to prove how smart that I was and the things that I could do to talk about. So I'm going to give you some super secret tips, sales tips and sales advice from me, because I really had this problem. And the first thing was anytime that somebody had asked a question and somebody would give me an answer, I would write down their answer. And I would let them know, hey, let me write this down. And I would write down their answer and I'd make notes because it slowed me down. But the other thing is whenever you're taking notes, that person's going to go, this is important enough for you to take notes for. That's pretty cool. And then what I would do is, because I had the struggles, I would repeat it back to them in a slightly different way. So someone would tell me, I'm having a problem with my widget and it's too shiny. And so, hold on, let me write this down. Your widget's too shiny. Yeah. Well, and then I would probe a little bit more. Tell me why that's a problem, right? Give me an idea of why that's an issue. Help me understand, what you're going through and what I can do to help fix that. And it took a little bit of effort. I'm not gonna lie. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of effort on my part to make that shift. And I see salespeople, it's really easy for you to see your problems in other people. If you're looking around, you're like, I really don't like that guy. He talks too much. Well, chances are pretty good. You have that problem too. Okay. So this is something that's near and dear to my heart. If you're having a problem, hey, can I write it down? And then don't judge the answer. You may have a preconceived notion of something that's going to fix the problem for their widget or gizmo, whatever they got, right? That doesn't work. You can ask questions to get deeper. And then last off, number 3, know what your talking is costing you, right? It doesn't matter how smart you are if you're not making any money. It doesn't matter how smart you are if you're not closing deals. You can change your focus up a little bit. Quit trying to prove how much you know, or quit trying to get so fast into the close. Excuse me. There is a certain amount of time in your industry, okay? If you look at the industry that you're in, whatever you sell, it could be that the average time to sit with a salesperson is an hour. If you're trying to sell it in 30 minutes, there's your problem. So time out how long it's taking you to sit down with a buyer. I knew when I was doing in-home sales that if I was talking about product or price 90 minutes into the call, before that 90 minutes, I wasn't going to sell the job. If I talked more than 3.5 hours, there was a huge chance it was going to cancel on me. So you got to know your minimum and maximum time. And I know a lot of people who say 90 minutes, it really took 90 minutes to sell stuff. You know what? At the skill level that I had, it did. Today I could sell it faster. I'm giving you an example. Whatever those 2 targets are, whatever that delta point is for you, you're going to have to figure out why you're speeding through it. If you're looking at the rest of the industry and you're looking at the closing industry and that guy's taking 4 hours and you're trying to do it in an hour and a half, it could be a sign that you're taking shortcuts. So there's a couple things going on. You're trying to get to the close too fast. You're trying to prove how smart you are, right? Or you're trying to push the buyer onto something that you would buy because it's really what you would do. So if you're over talking and talking through people, it is a huge problem. It is a form of sales sabotage. And I am raising my hand as high as I can in this hotel room. I'm raising my hand as high as I can to tell you I made this mistake, and it cost me a lot of money over time. So I'm giving you look, this is pure sales sabotage. This is anti-sales basic mastery. This is anti everything that you're supposed to do in the sales world. So if you're over talking people, it's costing you a ton of money. You've lost out of it, and it's not good. It's not a good help to you. Okay. So if you could do a small favor for me in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story, that'd be fantastic. To the right, to the left, there is a subscribe button. you know what you got to do. You got to subscribe. And then last off, you can send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Why not even link to Scott Sylvan Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.